What is up, YouTube? Welcome to my first mock draft of the year. I decided last second that we're going to do mock drafts, so I'm rolling out 3 mock drafts for you within the next 12 hours. At the time of recording, the draft is tomorrow night. At upload, it will either be tomorrow night or tonight, but I'm going to upload all 3 videos within 12 hours of each other because I want you guys to have the opportunity to either watch all 3 or pick which one you want to watch. The one you're watching now is going to be no trades. Everyone is sticking and picking. So I'm going to stop talking. Let's get right into it. Let's do this. All right, what is up? We are live streaming on TikTok and we are recording for YouTube. And we're going to get straight into this. There's no reason to go crazy. Get right into it, all right? I think everyone knows what's happening with the number 1 pick. I would say there's about a 90% chance that Cam Ward will be a Titan come tomorrow night. I do not see the Browns moving out of the second pick and not getting Travis Hunter. He's too good of a prospect. The Browns are going Travis Hunter at 2. Now remember, this one is my first of 3 I'm going to be doing tonight, and this is my stick and pick draft. I would say the chance the Giants trading the 3rd pick is probably more than people would think, but for the stick and pick, Abdul Carter. Those are like almost the guaranteed first 3 off the board, I would say. Number 4, the Patriots could take Genty. I don't think they do. I think they take Will Campbell. But I think if they can't get trades, which is what we're doing here, a stick and pick, no one wants to pay what they're wanting to get. They're going to take Genty because they need a running back. And Genty has proven that he does not need an offensive line to run. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Both my dogs. You can see one of them right here. Finley. There she is. The other one's right here. All right. Go do something. Crazies. Sorry about that, guys. Woo. All right. Number 5. You're going to be thinking I'm just picking people just 1 through 4 here. 1 through 5, all that. I'm not. I promise you I'm not. Number 5. I think one of the only things that the Jags are going to... There's 2 things that the Jags are going to do here. That makes sense to me. They're either going to go receiver or they're going to go defensive line. I think they're going receiver. I think they're going Tech McMillan. And I think that comes down to they want to give Trevor Lawrence as much help as possible. And that's going to be what they do. A lot of people will say, oh, they picked a wide receiver first round last year. A lot of teams do not pick 2 wide receivers 2 years in a row in the first round. Different regime at Jacksonville, all right? So I think they're going to take receiver. Now, everyone was saying Ashton Genty is going 6 to Raiders, but the Raiders, no one wanted to trade up to Patriots or at least offer what they got for this scenario. So Genty's not here at 6. What are the Raiders going to do? They need a defense lineman, an interior defense lineman. So for me, if they don't get Genty and they come out with Mason Graham, it's not a loss in the draft whatsoever. I promise you guys I'm not going just down the board, but there is very clearly top talent, and then there is very clearly everyone else. Here's where things start to get interesting. I could see the Jets taking Tyler Warren, but I think they have bigger needs than Tyler Warren. I think they should go tackle to protect. They could also go receiver. Like, obviously, you have Luther Burton, Emeka Buka, Matthew Golden, or 3 receivers, but I don't know if they're worth a number 7 pick, and I wouldn't say they were. But you know what is worth a number 7 pick that they need is a tackle. And it really comes down to which tackle they prefer. Everyone says Will Campbell has short arms. It hasn't affected him his whole career. Why does it matter now? That wouldn't deter me. I don't know if it'll deter them. If I was the Jets, I would take Will Campbell. I think he's a game changer in the tackle. It's going to help Breece Hall. It's going to give their QBs more time, and it's going to make their receivers have more time to get open. It just makes sense to me. All right, Panthers, number 7. Again, we're sticking and picking. Walter Nolan would be great here, but they don't need an interior offense lineman. They do need a DB. They do need receivers. Still think it's too early for the receivers. And they do need an edge. There are some very interesting edges here But again, we're picking at 8. So is an edge going to be better than the potential cornerbacks and safeties they got? I like Malachi Starks a lot. As you can tell by the ADP, not a lot of people like him. Mike Green is a good one here. Uh, Jade Barron is a great one here. Will Johnson. Those are the 4 things I would choose if I'm Carolina. Me being Carolina, I like their team. I like their secondary. I think their secondary is one person away from being an amazing secondary. And for that reason, I'm going to pick Barron if I'm the Panthers. All right, Saints. Here's where it also gets super interesting. Everyone is saying that the Saints are going to pick Shedeur Sanders. I don't think they picked Shedeur Sanders. I don't think they picked Shedeur Sanders because he is too much like Derek Carr, and I don't think they really like the Derek Carr mold. I think they would much rather have a Jackson Dart or Tyler Show. That's just me. And you do not need to pick these 2 people in the first round. In fact, you shouldn't pick them in the first round. So I'm not going to go QB with them. What they need more than a QB is defensive lineman. Walter Nolan's available here at number 9. We're going to take him. As easy as that. All right, now we're on to the Bears. And again, this goes back to a lot of people don't like Malachi Starks. I love Malachi Starks. They need a safety. They need running backs, but there's no running back worth going. That's what they need most is running back. There's no running back worth taking at 10, right? Defensive line, you could argue that there's some good defensive line. I could see a Mike Green going. But to me, the safety position is too valuable. And the Bears have always valued that safety position. So Malachi Starks is going to go to the Bears in this draft. Easy pick here. Again, it looks like we're just going down the line. I promise you we're not. I put a lot of thought into this. The 49ers need a tackle. They need a tackle. They need a guard. They need offensive talent, or on the line at least. Their defense, I think, is good enough right now that if they get that star player on the offensive line, it's going to make everything better. My personal favorite offensive lineman is Zabel from North Dakota State. That's my personal favorite. I could also go for Calvin Banks Jr., but I think it's too early in the draft. I think you're picking at 11. Ahmad Mubimbu, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, is there. You got to take him. All right, here we go on to Dallas. I do not see Dallas. If they stick and pick, I do not see them doing anything but taking Matthew Golden. He's just too good. He's from the state of Texas. Keep him in the state of Texas. Let's run it with Matthew Golden. It's as easy as that, Cowboys fans. That is what you guys should be doing. If Matthew Golden is there at 12, you stick and pick at 12. That's what you should do. Dolphins. Dolphins need a cornerback because we still do not know what is going on with Jalen Ramsey. And there is only one cornerback worth taking at this spot, and that's Will Johnson from Michigan. It would have been nice to possibly get Barron, but I don't think Barron makes it to pick 13. I think the Dolphins would have to trade up for that, and I think if the Dolphins do anything, they're going to be trading back. Colts, that's my team. Again, with how I would do this, it sets us up to have Tyler Warren. I think this is where Tyler Warren should go. I would not be mad if we got Loveland. I will be mad if we do anything but pick a tight end. But there are going to be mock drafts we do tonight where we don't get a tight end, no matter how mad it makes me. So let's not overthink it. Tyler Warren to the Colts at 14. Falcons, another team that I have a feeling are going to trade back. But again, in this one, no one's offering what they want. They need wide receiver. They need edge and linebacker. And I would say that their edge and linebacker are the most at needs. There's a few different ways. You could go Jalen Walker. You could go Jahad Campbell. And you could go Mike Green. Those are really the only 3 options I would do at the edge and linebacker position at 15. I personally like Jalen Walker better. I don't know how they feel about him, but I think out of those 3, I think out of any of the edge and linebackers on the board right now, Jalen Walker, he can play on ball, he can play off ball, he can run a defense, and he is a game changer. I think he's the biggest game changer. He proved himself at Georgia. You're a game changer at Georgia, you can be a game changer anywhere. All right, here we're on to the Cardinals at 16. They need a cornerback, I feel, is their biggest need on defense, but there's not a cornerback worth picking. If they're sticking and picking at 16, they're going to have to go defensive line. And I think the best option for defensive line here is going to be Mike Green. I could see Donovan Ezerkiku. I'm definitely probably not pronouncing that right. I could also see Shamar Stewart. But I'm not going to overthink it. Mike Green. Cardinals are going to take him if they stick and pick at 16. On to the Bengals. The Bengals need a linebacker the most. They need someone to control the game on the defensive ball. The offense side of the ball, they're good. They need a game changer and a manager on the defensive side. It would have been, I would rather see Jalen Walker on the Bengals, but here he is not available. So they're going Jahad Campbell. That's, to me, the only option. If Jahad Campbell's available and Jalen Walker isn't, and they're sticking at 17, that's what they have to take. With the Seahawks here, they need an edge more than they need anything else. Well, I take that back. They could use some interior offensive linemen. I really like Booker a lot. And also, there's a tackle, Zabel, who can play guard. But, again, it's too early to pick any of those. And we're going to have to pick edge, and we're going to go Donovan Ezeriaki. Did I pronounce it right that time? I don't know. That's who I would either take, him or James Pierce Jr. I personally like James Pierce Jr. better. And now that I'm thinking about it, I have been taking Donovan in these mock drafts, but I think I would reach a little bit farther and take James Pierce Jr. He was an edge in the SEC, and he performed. That's what you want. But Shamar Stewart's here too. Ace, we're taking Michael Williams. There's some good people. I've thought all this through, but every time I go back, I see other scenarios that I like. Again, Georgia just makes such good defenders. I'm taking the Georgia defender. Michael Williams is a dog.
Welcome to the.
All right, now we're on to Bucks at 19. If the Bucks were to stick and pick, they need basically anything defense related except interior defensive linemen. Now, see, I like Trey Amos a lot. I love Trey Amos. But I think it's too early to pick him. I think other people think it's too early to pick him. I don't think it is. But I don't think they're going to pick them. I think they're going to go with Ezeuaku, if I'm pronouncing that right. That's who I think they're going to go with. That is the best option available outside of Shamar Stewart. That's what we're going to go with. All right, Broncos. If the Broncos, I don't care where the Broncos are picking. The best person to go to the Broncos is Ashton Jeanty. By far, I would love to see Ashton Jeanty on the Broncos, but I don't foresee the Broncos trading up. So it doesn't matter when they pick, Ashton Jeanty's gone, but Amarion Hampton is available. The Broncos need to take Amarion Hampton. He's a dog, and they need a dog at that running back position. They have everything else they need on offense. Their offensive line, good enough. Their receivers, good enough. Their QB performed phenomenally last year. But a running back's what they need. All right, Steelers at pick 21. Everyone is saying if Shedeur Sanders is available, they're taking him. And I agree with it. It comes down to this. Mike Tomlin has gone on record saying, I want volunteers, not hostages. So Aaron Rodgers isn't on the Steelers yet. He hasn't made a decision. And that's going to piss off the Steelers organization. They're not going to wait around for him. Shedeur Sanders wants to play, and he wants to play now. If he is there at pick 21 when the Steelers pick, there's no reason for them not to take him. The only reason that I would not take Shedeur at 21 is if they wanted to go Jackson Dart. And I would personally trade, maybe let's say you trade with the Saints. The Saints want to come back in the first round. They give you their second, third, or second, fourth, and some other stuff. And then you pick up Jackson Dart in the second. I could see that happening. But for a stick and pick, you're not taking Jackson Dart at 21. If you're taking a QB at 21, you're taking Shedeur Sanders. Chargers. There's only one way I see the Chargers going, and it's with a Michigan guy. In this instant, we have two Michigan guys at two positions of need, tight end and interior defensive lineman. For me, I like Kenneth Grant better than Colston Loveland for the Chargers. But with their head coach, they're taking a Michigan guy. There's two amazing Michigan guys available. That's who they're taking. As easy as that. Green Bay. I will tell you this. If there are any Green Bay fans out there, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure everyone in Green Bay, everyone that wears that gold and green, wants them to draft a wide receiver first round, especially when you have a Luther Burton, a Emeka Egbuka available. If Emeka Egbuka is available at pick 23 to the Packers and they don't take them, find a new franchise. Find a new franchise. Vikings at 24. They need a running back, but there is not a running back that is first round quality left. I like Scatterboo. I like Sampson. I love Johnson. And I love the two Ohio State running backs. But they are not first round quality. And it would be a waste of their time. They need interior defensive line and they need DBs. For me, I think DB is where they need to go here because they need the most help in the secondary. And I think the best person available is Trey Amos. Now, Rank has him at 28, ADP has him at 35, so it is a reach. But I feel like he would be a great fit with the Vikings team, and I don't see why they would do anything else with that pick, given that scenario. Here is a for sure pick. I have drafts that I've done where I have the Texans trading up to make this pick. But if they stick and pick at 25 and Josh Simmons is available and Josh Simmons is not a Texan, then not only do you need to pick a new franchise, everyone on that team needs to go pick a new franchise. You got an Ohio State tackle protecting an Ohio State QB. Josh Simmons is a dog. If he's available at 25, don't think about it. Just do it. Do you guys just see my dog? My hand was moving like that. It's because my dog was pushing out the way. Yeah, there he is. Everybody say hi to Ollie. Ollie, do you want to make a pick? You don't even want to look at the camera. Are you camera shy? Finley, I see you. We know you're not camera shy. Finley. Get down. Get down. They want dinner. That's what they want, guys. Ollie, I see you. I recognize you. I love you. You're going to get dinner after this. I promise you. Anyways, Josh Simmons going 25 to Texans. If he's there, the Texans need to take him. Rams. I also have the Rams trading up in the draft to make this pick. And it's the only pick that makes sense to me for the Rams. Let me take that back. I could see them going tackle. I don't see them going linebacker given they stick and pick because there's no good linebackers left. I don't see them going cornerback because there's no cornerbacks worth the first grade pick left. I see them trading up, and the only thing I see them trading up for is Colston Loveland. But here in the stick and pick draft, mock draft number 1, they don't have to trade up. He's just there, served on a silver platter. And that is strictly because the Jets took Will Campbell. I will tell you this. If the Jets draft Tyler Warren, I think the Rams trade up before the Colts, so 13th or earlier, and they get Loveland. I think the Rams, Matthew Stafford needs a sure target. He's on the edge of his career. Give him what he wants. Give him Loveland. Ravens. Ravens could really use a guard here, and I like Zabel out of North Dakota State. But then I wonder, do they need a DB better? I would say yes. Is there a DB worth picking? I would say no. Edge, very important position. There is an edge worth picking. But I just, there's two edges worth picking. But I don't, if I'm the Ravens, You have an amazing backfield. You can win a game on offense alone. Defense wins championships, but not when it comes to the Ravens. I think the Ravens need to go out and they need to get Gray Zabel. I think he's the perfect guard for the Ravens. And I think Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson go off next season with him being one of the blockers in front of them. The Lions at pick 28. They need an edge or a linebacker. I would prefer them get a linebacker, but there's not one worth getting here. There's a one wide receiver worth getting, but it's like I don't think wide receivers their biggest need. You know, they could get a tackle, but they don't need a tackle. They could get Booker, but I think they go edge here. I think they had a lot of injuries to their defense last year. We still don't know how some of those players are going to come back. So let's play it safe. Let's get Stewart out of Texas A&M. It gives you a dog of a defender on that line. Worst comes to worst, everyone comes out 100% or better and healthy, and he's a guy for rotational. So your guys aren't tired, and your defense is that more crazy good. Because Ravens wins on offense. Lions wins on defense. And I think the Lions need to stick to that. Here we go with the Commanders. The Commanders' offense. All their offense needs is a running back. Now, they could take a Booker, but I don't think they need it as bad to make it worth passing up on a James Pierce Jr. If James Pierce at 29 falls into their lap, you got to take him on that defensive side. The Commanders have a great offense. They need that defense. Bills are a team that I have trading up in other drafts, especially because they like to get aggressive, but they can't trade up here. What's crazy is we still have Luther Burton. That's crazy to me, guys, but it's not that crazy. The only people I could see taking Luther Burton before pick 32 is the Texans, but they need the tackle more. Josh Simmons just makes too much sense. Bills don't need a tackle. Bills needs an edge or a linebacker or a cornerback, right? Is there anyone really worth it? Nick Scorton, maybe. But personally, if I'm the Bills, it's hard. So I like Benjamin Morrison. I'm a Notre Dame fan, so maybe I'm impartial. He's hurt, but that's caused his draft stock to drop. If he didn't get hurt, he would have been drafted already. That's just my personal opinion. Maxwell Hairston, another really good, really underrated cornerback. I might even say better than Benjamin Morrison. Call me crazy. I don't know, because there's no good edges, in my opinion. Maxwell Hairston. That's who the Bills are going to take in a stick and pick. I think they trade up to get a really good edge. That's what I think they do, or a linebacker. For the Chiefs, there's really only one thing I see them doing here. They have all the pieces they need, but except for guard, tackle, except for the line on both sides. Let's be honest, the line on both sides isn't that good. But defensive line is not in a place where you can draft right now. Tyler Booker is available. I think he is, even though he's ranked 48 and the ADP has him going 32.3, I still think he's underrated. I think they need to take him here at pick 31. That's just me. And for the last pick, the only thing the Eagles need on offense, in my opinion, is a wide receiver. Yes, they could use a guard, but their guards are better than the Chiefs are. And the Eagles already won. So you add yourself another game changer on offense, and you're going to win again. It's that simple. So they take Luther Burton III right then and there. So here is all my picks for the first round. Again, this was our stick and pick draft. We will be uploading, I'm live right now, but I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube, and I'm going to be uploading 2 more. One with trades, and then I'm going to do a 2-round one. So that's going to come next. If you're on live watching this, that's going to come next. If you watch to the end, that's telling me that you're enjoying my content. So please leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe if you're really feeling up to it. This was my first of 3 mock drafts we're releasing over the next 12 hours, like I said. This one was a pure stick and pick, no trades. The next one is going to be my most realistic one. It's got some trades in it that I think are going to happen, and I'm very confident in it. My third one is just a 2-round one that I just kind of did some things with. But I thank you for watching the whole video. If you like, subscribe, comment, share, all that. I appreciate you. Even if you do none of that and you only watched a few seconds of my video, I appreciate you. I love y'all. You all have a good night. Thank you so much.